Yeah. Hey, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for July 13th, 2023. We'll start, as usual, with the 30-minute hybrid swing trade portfolio. As soon as I get the old pen working here. And as always, we'll just go in alphabetical order. And this is Alcoa. This is all 30-minute charts. We didn't have the one last. So yesterday's trade, we closed on this one at the PSAR flip, re-entered here on the PSAR flip to the upside. It didn't really follow through further. It came back here, and so I just decided to accept one, and no overnight risk. AI. Yesterday we closed out the COTA 2. It was promising, and then just kind of drained. And there was nothing special about this. So it's starting to set up this nice box right here. And I think I'm going to be ready in either direction. Caterpillar. This thing is just continuing to grind. I was committed to just leaving it alone for 3 days. So as long as I was above the zero line, I was happy. It recovered nicely today. This feels like it has legs. So we're 2 positions in with about 4R in hand. There's something to be said for that relaxed approach. On the other hand, CLF with that tight, really tight wrist box in here and never looked back. We closed that one today on the PSAR flip. And this one brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I'd have had a second position in here, I would certainly had to have gotten out here. I could not have carried multiple positions overnight with that kind of recent trend, but because we had 6R in hand, and only one position, that felt manageable. CVS. Yesterday we closed a emerging dragon here. And then wasn't tradable today. Dish Network, just stalking. I like the way this is setting up. This support level, this combination of the low of the dragon and the RL10, the same place that prompted this move. It feels kind of like it's setting up here. This is a failure to fail. So if this is support, then that's going to give us a kind of a lazy COTA 2. And the market was so strong today that if this gets above 740, that has a chance for some legs. Devon Energy closed a emerging dragon. That was like the second leg up. So if this was our first leg, and then the re-entry, second leg, and this held support, this is still in the COTA 2 setup. So I thought hard about buying this, but it was so close to that high. Let's just see. If we get legs tomorrow, then I'll be looking to buy inside here, south of 52. But if it gets above 52, this has a chance to really go. Electronic Arts. This was the gift of the century over here. It gave us all of that. So I'm just curious to see where it's going. And I'm just going to hold it. Right now I've got my stop in here. But we're holding 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to keep 5. But we got about 7 or 8 in it. I think it can get above here. So we'll see. Emerging markets, big gift. This has done nothing but 3 steps up. Each day has been a gap up, and I just add to it on strength. Gap up, add to it on strength. My stop is here. This is holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's almost 10R on that first one, and 4 on this one, and 2 on that one. So that's turned out to be quite a move. We'll see. Ethereum, another unbelievable gift. This was the swing trade. We held our nose on this one, and a couple reasonable days, and then today there was some news event. I forget what it was, but then this happened, and then when this came all the way back here, that was enough to get out of that swing trade. This is about so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is about a 6R swing trade on 3 days. This move on the turbo is 25R on the intraday. So the combination of swing trading and turbo trading can be very valuable. But that was a good swing. This is Mexico, standard work. Probably should have gotten out on this one yesterday, but I was curious. I was committed that as long as it could hold above the emerging dragon, I was going to stick with it. It got close here. It rewarded, and I felt like I escaped with my skin. There's leg one, there's leg two, and it was failing. That felt like I had tempted fate long enough, and took 5R from that one. Brazil, still open, about 4R. Intel closed a COTA 2 reentry. That was about 4R. That was a nice work, and I just took the standard PSAR exit. IP, no trade. I think I missed the short in here. I was hypnotized by the long move. Real estate, yesterday cashed this gift, this 2-day gift, and then today was a 1, 2, 3 entry, so we took it and then cashed an R. Regional banks, no trade. I just couldn't find my way into it. Matt Mattel, thanks to my brother. This one had 1, 2, 3. Now this is the one that we had the nightly bar by bar session on, and we wondered, hey, what to do with this one. In that session, I said, hey, what I did was I bought a third position. That turned out to be really lucky, and I took the PSAR exit here. So this is about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one is 9. That one is about 6. And this one was about 5 additional R on that one. So that turned out to be 20. That was helpful to the team. McDonald's, no trade. Merck is we got short yesterday. It's closing poorly. We're about +3, and it's just grinding downward. Microsoft, I cashed a 1-day yesterday, intraday gain. Today I re-entered with a emerging dragon, and it closed pretty well. It's holding +1. Marijuana, missed the trade today because I was I was focused on Ethereum like a raccoon. So I missed this one in marijuana. This is Nvidia. Yesterday, a COTA 2, added a second position today because it was, it was 4R and not failing, so why not? And that really closed well. So I'm looking for this to actually be pretty strong tomorrow. It's at a 30. It made a new 30-day high. There's no resistance in sight anywhere. That's going back 30 days. 150. This thing is in pretty good shape, Nvidia. Clean energy. PBW. Let's go. PBW. So closed the COTA 2 reentry from 4 days ago for about 5R. Rivian, no trade. That feels like it has stalled. You'll recall this one was an extraordinary move. It's now locked into a 5-day consolidation. The good news is that it has not failed further, and the better news is it's making a COTA 2. So I would not be surprised to see this hold and to get this kind of move. I'll be on that like a hungry raccoon. I almost said like a fat kid on cake. That's not polite. I think it's north of 27.
Yep.
Has
Fat kid on a donut.
Yeah. Uh, Treasuries, for a change, are just behaving well. You will recall that we talked about the importance of the $100 uh, psychological level and that it held here at 99, and that triggered the SSC, and I've just been adding positions. That has turned into be a really orderly move. And in treasuries, there's your cup, and now if it can pull back and resume, it now has to get above 103 to be interesting, and then if it gets above 104, it's very interesting. So I feel like this one could really go. Tesla initiated a SSC on Tuesday. It closed pretty well today. It's got to get through. There's a lot of resistance here at 280. This is all strong resistance. So it made it into the resistance and held. So now we're going to see, can it break through above the 10-day high? If it gets above 285, off it goes. If it starts to fail tomorrow, like below 276, I'll take the exit here and be happy. But I will add to it if it can get above, let's call it, say, 282. I'm going to add here and add here. So I'm ready in either direction. And then finally, U.S. Steel. No trade. I missed the trade yesterday. Today it decayed a little bit, but it's still holding above. I would treat this as the resistance right here that it broke through. As long as it's holding above 24.75, it's okay. So that could be a COTA 2 support and a continuation. We don't know for sure until it gets above 25.50 when it's free and clear. So that's the Sniper 30-minute swing update. Let's see what we got here. The Sniper trade of the day, I mean, just I'm not going to do the reveal on this one because it was just sick. So this was just an alert that it broke out of a Z3 pinch. I saw the alert, said, okay, I'll just put the standard risk box on it. 2-hour battle drill, 5-hour battle drill, 7-hour battle drill, exit it the normal way. And this turned into 20 on 4 positions. And then it held with a COTA 2, so 1 position plus 3. And then another COTA 2, so gained another 2. So total 25 and no overnight risk, except for the swing trade. But the swing trade got out of that in this region over here. If you will recall, when we look at ETHE, that was the swing trade around that little pullback at 1150. That was enough to just terminate, because on a swing trade, if you see that, how much more did you want? Well, if you want more, go into the 3-minute and work that, and that's what that trade looked like. So that's the 1150 exit in this region. That's where the swing trade terminated, and then this was just more opportunity trading. So I would not be surprised to see this continue to go tomorrow, because when we look at the sector performance, all of the cryptos went through the roof today, like Coinbase and Bitcoin and whatnot. So it was a good day for that. All right, let's look at the traders.
Hey, Ken, I'm posting one more in a minute.
All right. I thought I had all that stuff open.
I'm just naming it now.
Doggone it. I had all that stuff uploaded. And then Brave collapsed. Just give me half a second, I'll get that. Okay, so this is Brian on, let's see. I like that short. standard risk. Kind of had to get out of that. I understand the stop and reverse, quick cut. I think that could be a stop and reverse there, so we would have made money instead of scratch. I like the re-entry. It's just unfortunate. So I think you got out of it what you could. This was just an unfortunate recovery here. You have to protect against the upside, particularly on a day when the market was strong. So this was good damage control. This is Brazil. This short doesn't work. I think you could stop and reverse there. We wouldn't have lost money on that one. The soonest you could get short would be here. I like waiting for the Z3 pinch breakdown. I think you could stop and reverse and go long there, but you're not trading past noon. So when there's only that much time in there, I don't know that I take that trade, because based on your time frames, you need time for that trade to unfold, and at lunchtime there's a good chance that it just grinds and then you end up losing a scratch or a micro loss. So I think if that in your time frame, I don't know that I take that trade. All right, so this is Tim. This is an OR3 breakout. He cuts it, and he stays out of the chop, so there just wasn't much work in there. Yesterday was the big move. It's kind of normal for a one-day big adjustment in precious metals and then limited follow-through, because it's such a narrowly traded target that usually it's one-day readjustments. So he did a good job steering clear. This is NVIDIA for 0.4, does an OR3, micro gain on the reversal, stayed out of the chop. That's good work. Devon Energy, OR3 in the usual way, 1R, good job. There was an opportunity here, which he notices, that when this thing grinds and you get this downward pressure of the PSAR and then the VWAP, this is coming to a head. So that break of the VWAP is a signal that that's probably done and that this might be worthwhile. And it turned out that there was a trade. So pay attention to the VWAP, that when the upside trade is rejected and then it collapses through here, then you come back to this one, you say this previous support level could be the one, and sure enough. So that's sort of the VWAP reversal, if we can call it that. Alcoa, there was an OR3. Oh my gracious. He was looking at other things. The OR3 was massive. He did manage to get this one and that one for 0.6 and closed positive for the day. But boy, you want to have alerts set so you can find the mover. Good note, very relaxed and in the zero state. Found early movers. He was patient and didn't chase. I want you to be a little more aggressive about that one, if I can say that. Let's see. So this is Lou, if I remember. Yeah. So sees the fake one go to. There's his short on the break of the PSAR. It didn't penetrate the dragon. The PSAR was helpful. Notice that the RL270 is showing the way lower, and he was able to ride this to here. Now, he covered here. I like that exit at the edge of the dragon to lock in that gain. And so even though you say too soon, I don't know that that's too soon. I like that exit. You might think about a re-entry, which wouldn't lose money. So that I think that's a nice trade. I wouldn't say too soon. Yeah, I want to think hard about this. So we have a favorable gap up above the Z3s. I think there's something in there. Then he has this and then a resumption. I like that as a kata too. I like the quick cut. I like the short. There just wasn't much. And then this started getting shot. I think from about here on, I think that's the chop you got to stay out of. Yeah. I think that was excessive trading here. So a peak, a low, a lower high. That makes this a collapsing dragon. That's still a reasonable collapsing dragon fill. Perfect exit. I love the re-entry, quick cut. I like the long that kind of scratched there quick. Somehow that feels like that should be more. I should be getting more out of that trade. Like these two negative trades shouldn't be overriding that one. So maybe this one's over trading. And the reason I would say is at this point,
You know, flipped.
the Bollinger Bands are compressing. On the other hand, I kind of like the longs here because you have a harsh winter and looking for that. So I don't mind that at all. I think it just that failure to follow through was the symbol's problem, not your problem. I think this was all right.
Yeah.
Alcoa. There's our OR3, and now we're definitely in the chop. This is all chop. But you did stay out of the further chop. I would say that. Yeah, this is the move, and now when it's in the Red River, these are just chop trades. And the size of your risk box is so small, you're taking 0.6 and 0.8 trades inside the width of the dragon. So stay out of this Red River. That's where the chop is. This would actually be the first play, as this is coming to a pinch. Even that's not pinched enough because you can see that it's still wider than the frog box. So this was good staying out of the chop. I think this is all chop, to be honest. NVIDIA. There was just no follow through. Did a good job staying out of the chop. This is
That's Dominic.
Damien.
Or Damien, sorry.
So he sees the gap, sees the reversal. It moves the frog box off the low. He gets paid, stays out of the chop. 1.25. 7 minutes. Get paid, go home. Later in the day, sees the Z3 pinch. There's the PSAR flip 1, 2, 3 entry. Gets paid for another 0.5. Now, Red, here's what I want you to notice. When you got those PSAR flips after a Z3 excursion and reversal, that's a fake one go-to. You can buy it right in the elbow of the dragon. Now, so that's the secondary trade. I like both of those. This last one I don't like because you got the Z3s are pinching, and this is where it is clear. Even this one might be too late, but I would say this third one was too late. That we don't need that trade. But what are we doing here? We should, and even if we get the Z3 pinch breakout here, there's still some room in that one. I like the Kata 2, got paid. we might have had a emerging dragon that then sets up this kata 2. So the kata 2 is the one you always take, but this is one that's possible. You know, even if you did this, connect those dots, that becomes the channel. So all this is noise. So that means that a breakout from here is a tradable moment. And then just use a wide stop. Let that be your noise box. And now I have this. Aussie futures. When this one doesn't fail, and then this one doesn't fail, kill this with a stop and reverse. Here's our Z3 lines. So I like that short. I like that short. But if we're going to be true to the idea, then that's our long. That's his second position then. This was a nice PSAR reversal, and it didn't work, so cut it quick. That's good. And then you stayed out of the chop. Go ahead, Bill. Talk these.
Okay, so this is the Mattel trade. It's still going. The red box there is a that's the new trailing stop of 0.5 R. So we're gonna guarantee at least an R trade on this. This is gonna be a longer trade. This is 9 day. So I just like to show where this starts working. We got the standard entry at the first. Yep. Then the next one is the crossing standard work, just taking it at 20. You know, incrementing. Once it gets past 1, dropping it to half R and just let it run. So I'm sure I'm going to get 1 R out of it. You know, $1.20 per share. So that's enough to keep make sure I make money.
This is just starting to emerge from the Red
It's
River.
just starting to get there.
Yeah, just starting to get traction. It
If
has
you
to
remember-
really get above 24 to really
Yep.
go.
To really
So,
go.
so this is the tactical space,
Yep.
and then that's when all heaven breaks loose.
Yeah. 2R battle drill at 23. So it's critical state right now. So if it fails, that's a fine. Still keep an R. But if it goes, it goes. That's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
I just was zooming in to get a little closer look.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this one is the what is it? 30
Just what I do.
That's the 30
normally.
minute. Okay.
Yeah, 30-minute trading. You know, nothing but standard work to see here.
PSAR flip, exit, breaks through. He's front running a collapsing dragon, gets paid. PSAR flip, standard work, taking advantage of the gift of the gap.
Yep.
Kata 2.
Yep.
2R battle drill. So his stop is right here. Got two positions. Got 2 positions loaded.
Yep. Can you zoom out just a little bit? And this might be helpful to the other guys. Just to discuss the Williams percent. So yeah, if you get rid of those other little deals there. See the blue circles down in the Williams and the MACD. When that crosses, when that line I have there crosses the 50, I know this is one of my unique indicators, but what I've been finding is that's usually a really good signal when the 7 period line that I have goes and crosses that 50. But you can see that it's going to do that if you look now. This standard, the MACD 430, That's a standard thing that you guys all use. You can see when that thing starts to go up and then crosses its 50 or crosses the midline of that, that's a good signal. So that's where that can go. Then when it breaks out later on in the 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. of the next day, when it breaks out,
Held
that's another
support
good
and
signal.
broke.
Yeah.
This one, it did not fail into the Red River. It stayed north of it and kept going. So
Yeah, and it's just hovering on overbought. If it keeps hovering on overbought, that means that people are still buying it. They're going to just keep buying it. So this is the Rivian trade. This was 20R on the 3-day. So this is what a 3-day chart looks like in my system. It doesn't look like it, but there's 20R there. And it's you're just watching this really slow, and that's the risk box. That little red thing is the risk box, because once you're at, it might drive some people crazy. Like, are you nuts? You're going to have that much as, yeah, I got 4
once you get
positions
4 positions, so you have to have a small risk.
yeah, I got to
So it
do that.
doesn't take much retracement. This is either supposed to go right away, but it fails. That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough to get out.
20
But
is a
then,
round number. Yeah.
did you pull up my 9-day? Try loading the 9-day, if you would, just to show you. So I'm still holding one. There it is. Just to give you an idea. So with that 20R, I sold everything except I kept one position. So that's what it looks like on a 9-day.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just ready to get into the 2R battle drill.
So you're still holding the one position from here. Strong. Now this little doji is failure to fail. So this could be the pause that refreshes. And that could be the resume. So where it has to get above is this, or this PSARF dot right here. So it has to get above 30. 30, what is it, 35?
Yep. I'm looking at 2650 for
if it gets
for a
above
second
30,
position.
this is good, because then it will have cleared that 2-bar high. 35 is really comfortable. 40 is gateway to heavenly glory.
Yeah, that line at 30, whatever that is that we just drew all over, that's the top of the RL10.
Yeah, this one right here.
So that one, that one there. That's the top. If you can't go back because I didn't go back that far.
If we went far, that's the statistical limit of this move. So if this is leg 1 and this is a pause, this is potential leg 2.
Yep.
And then that would be the test.
Yep.
If that test breaks, upward it goes.
Yeah. No, my options guy.
Leg 1, leg 2, leg 3 gets it to 50.
He is looking at out to October with this trade. It looked that good to him because the PSAR flips. He's like, when we were talking about it, he's like, I love this trade all the way out to October.
Yeah, so that's the 9-bar look at Rivian. And just as a point of reference, that's what
that's Ethereum, Ken.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Here's clear.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So this
is the 150-day look back on 9 days. That's how big that 150-day box looks. Here's what the 30-day box looks like. Now this is important because this is how much volatility was on the 150, and most of that occurred right in here when it had the huge sell-off. And then this has been nothing but building support and failure to fail further. And now this is the 30-day bounce. This is the 10-day bounce. Look at most of this move here has occurred in 10 days.
Yep.
In other words, in 10 days, it recovered 70% of what it lost over that long period. So you're getting this kind of meltdown, support base, first push to the upside, and this is now the target, 38.
It's just so hard to believe for me that
So
it's going to piece
38.
our flip for
Yep.
only two dots. Why do I think that? I don't. That was a spring. It's blasted. It's made oh, we don't have the Z3 lines, but I would almost guarantee that it just
Yeah,
is
that's an
breaking
enormous.
Z3 right now. So that's why I can't get out. Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know, but I can't get out of this for some reason. I
Yeah,
bought
well,
it.
I mean, your entry is down in here.
Yeah, I'm at 1250.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1250 was here.
I
On the
mean,
PSAR
I
flip.
took it right at the flip.
Yep.
So I'm keeping one on the 9 day.
Yeah, so
And this is,
that's his risk was about maybe $1 or $2 even.
yeah, it's,
And I think your stop should be here.
yeah,
And then if this goes above here,
that is the second position. Yep.
second
There.
position there.
Yep. Yeah, when you look at mine, that's right
All
where
right,
the 2R
fellas.
battle
Yep,
drill is.
that's everything we got for tonight. Hey, we had a really good discussion in the foundations Q&A on 3-minute versus 30-minute trading, and how to think about the opening range 3, 5, and 60. A lot of good background technical detail for the foundations guys. So
Just to answer Greg's
posted.
question, I'm gonna still, because that's what my rules say. My rules say 2R battle drill. I just, because I would rather put the 2R on knowing I'm gonna have a half R, a 0.7 to half R trailing stop. I'm just absolutely unafraid, because the delta on that, losing a half R on 2 after it's moved out that far, I'm losing an extra 0.2.
Yeah, so let's.
So I
I
just
mean,
don't
look at
care.
it this way: if your wrist box was like this,
Yeah.
and your 2R battle drill says, put it on right here, and then you notice that you've got resistance right here. Look, that's either going to break through in a big way, like the cracking of wood, and that thing's going to explode. In which case, you got two positions on large, and then you can get your stop from here up above. So that's either going to work massively well, or it's going to start reversing, and his tight stop just gets him out. So it's like fish or cut bait.
Yep.
So just put it on. If you lose, it's a quarter of an R on two positions, so it's only half an R. But if it works, that'll be four R.
Right. So lastly, Greg, I choose not to believe in the trade. I have replaced my belief in the trade with evidence, which is statistics. I just trust the stats. That really comes that now I have no fear. So there's no fear involved. That's what the rules say.
You eliminate you eliminate fear by trading with a position size that reduces the irrational. You already know with your inner guide that you are not gambling, that you're taking a measured statistical risk, and that allows you to manage the fear. You get it, you notice it, and you say, "Hey, I've handled it with statistics and position sizing, so now I have an edge." Because most people don't understand that and can't do it. So that's how we handle that.
I was.
All right, you guys have the you have the reports. We'll go ahead.
And one last thing is the listening to Jocko Willenick on the way home, and his total ownership says having rules and following rules is absolute freedom.
Yeah.
Because having routine and rules grants you absolute freedom. Like I have no fear. I just will take it. Now, if I believe I should be afraid, I won't take the trade. But if I follow the statistics, I just follow the statistics.
Yep.
So emotionally, I'm not going to lose if I put on the 2 and then lose a half on 1. Okay.
Yep. All right, fellas, that's what we got. You have the reports. We'll get this published and posted. Cheers.
Good night.